Hey folks, Mike here. Welcome back to another episode of TA Outdoors. I'm back in the really nice beach woodland and I've got with me a backpack full of gear, a tent and a wood stove. Temperatures are dipping to single figure Celsius in the evenings at night time. I figure that's a good enough excuse to do the first hot tent of the season. I've got my dog Jax with me, I've got some nice food, we're going to get fire going, cook it all up and enjoy this really nice peaceful autumn overnight in the woods. First things first, I've got to set up my shelter. So, tent is set up. This is the second time I've ever used this tent. The last time I used it was in the video where I did the police were called on myself and my dad for having the guns up here in the woods. I'll link that below if you want to go and watch that video. But that was the last time I used this. That previous time I didn't use it with a wood stove, or at least I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't use it with a wood stove. It has a heat-proof mat in there. You can see it at the back there. So I'm going to install a wood stove in there. Now, it's a stove that I've had for a year now, a Pomoli one, and I've not got around to using it. The big issue I have is that it's one of those roll-out flues, and I didn't pre-roll it or pre-form it around a drain pipe like I normally do, which means it's going to be a real pain to try and get on out here in the woods. Nevertheless, I'm very happy with the tent. I really like this tent. And yeah, let's get this set up, and then we can make camp more comfortable. Oh yeah, it's one that I've got to form. It's a bigger stove than the one I've had previously though. This stove has a solid side, and unlike my previous mini folding one, it has a glass side to it as well. I've just got to figure out how they slot in. Oh, that's in. Getting the hang of it. This side should be a lot easier now that I know it actually slots in these little channels. Like that. So this is the damper valve, and on my previous stoves, I normally, once this is screwed on like I've done now, I leave these on and just keep them on permanently. I always keep the damper open when I'm burning my wood stoves. I never control the airflow by this damper at the back. I always control the airflow here by the kind of air intake valves at the front. I just find these much easier to control the oxygen and the amount of air going into the stove, and you get a lot less smoke. When you do it like this and you shut it down like this, it often just shuts so much air down that you end up just smoking out the stove. It just starts coming out, putting the fire out and smoking more. So I tend to leave it like this. This is a cool looking stove. It's the big brother of the one that I had that I use all the time, the small one. But it doesn't have glass, the other one, and this is much bigger with the glass. It's probably a bit overkill for this size tent, and certainly this time of year, but it'd be great in winter. And I love the fact that it flat packs. So this is the hard bit now. I've got to get this stovepipe on there, and I'm telling you guys, it really isn't easy. I totally forgot to install this baffle plate on, underneath the lid, underneath the stove vent. So that goes in that slot there. It just acts as a baffle, and it burns your fuel a lot more efficiently, and it's safer. There we go. Bear with me, I'm about to have the fight of my life with this stovepipe. I'm going to try and unravel it with the securing rings, the tensioning rings really, that fix the diameter of the stovepipe. I'm going to try and install it with those. I should be wearing gloves, but I have done this a few times before, so this is it now. There we go. Fight of my lifetime. Finally did it. Anyway, it's massive. Oh, I've got to cut a hole. Just going to cut a little X for now. Right, I've secured it with this ring, the lowest down it can go, but I normally on my other one have a Jubilee clip, and I screw that tight, and that totally seals this. I've never had a problem with them like this, but it's really important to get this bit right, because any smoke that comes out of here is obviously going to come into the tent. But there's a nice big cooking surface there, at least. I don't know if you can see it, but the stovepipe's almost off the screen. It's really quite high, because it's kind of the Pomoly generic stovepipe for some of their other tents, which are a lot taller than this one. So I was going to cut it down, but I've actually got another tent of theirs, like a dome one, which is taller than this, and I can stand up inside. So in hindsight, I might keep it. I might take a foot off it, I think, back at home. But it's wood chopping time. We've got an hour of sunlight left. I want to get all my gear prepped and ready so that I can just relax and cook, and just enjoy the night camping. Because the clocks have changed now, so it gets dark a lot earlier. I had some wood from last week's camp left over that are partially chopped but didn't burn. Another nice piece of wood, this. Perfect feather stick right there. Few little bits I'm just trying to set up. Got Jax's bed slash kneeling pad thing, and I've got a chair as well, so I can sit here with my food cooking stove on and have all my bits of wood stuff nearby. Fire lighting kit, gloves so important, kettle, this. Checked all the vents are open, including these little side vents that it has. The damper's open. There's a big stove. Plenty of space. Loads of time when it comes to this. really impressed with this stove so far. I love having the glass on the side. I think this is my first wood stove where I've ever had, well, camping wood stove where I've ever had glass on the side. I think that's really, really nice to just have a lot more light there. There is a vent just here. Oh, I need gloves to do it, but I can open and close a little vent down there. I need my gloves to do it. It's burning really, really hot. The flue's actually glowing a little bit. You can see at the back here that flue is glowing. It is warm, burning really efficiently. See that baffle working? Just there, you can see where the flames are hitting the baffle. That's new to me, those baffles. They weren't on my old stove. But that's a very good concept. I think that's a good addition. Very super efficient, this. Going for a one-pot meal tonight. This time a saucepan, not cast iron like last week. Some onion. So I've got a few sprigs of thyme. Get that in there. Add some water. And some carrots. Bring that to the boil. Well, this is nice, isn't it, Jax? Really love being able to see that fire on this side of the glass. Happy with the tent. Spilt my coffee, and yeah, I want to put it through its paces and have it test it out in the rain and wind as well. It's just typical. It's like the first time in a long time we've not got any rain. The last 2 weeks it's been really nice. Last year it was rain every camp. So beef stew should be boiling. Yeah, we're bubbling. That's a beef stew casserole-ish thingy. I've got other things to add to it, stock and mushrooms, wine. Yeah. Anyway, cheers. Just enjoy the rest of my coffee. I'm going to leave this tent up, I think, for the next few weeks. And come back and forth to it. I might do some multi-day hunting / bushcraft trips here. I'm going to definitely leave it up, I think, for a couple of weeks. Yummy, yummy, yummy. That's going to be nice. Going to add some stock to that. Beef stock. Oh, now that's smelling good. I should have brought some flour to thicken this actually. It's going to be quite runny, but the taste is going to be there, the flavour. Now I've also got mushrooms, lots of them. Oh, that's going to be so tasty. Proper nice stew that will be. There we go. Another reason I really like the stove is because it gets hot towards the back when you push the wood back, and then you've got a cooler section here, so if you just want to simmer, you just bring it forward slightly and then it simmers a lot less aggressively than the boiling over here. It's the little things. Jax is still chilling, ready for some beef casserole. We are civilised in this tent. We shall drink said wine from the cup. Nice time of year for red wine. Cheers. Now all my coffee is going to taste like red wine. I may have already made a start on the bread. I've given Jax his food, don't worry folks. He's also going to have a bit of this. But it's a bit too hot for him at the moment. Here you go. Wish I brought some flour to thicken it up a bit, but that's so nice. That's so good. Couldn't be better. That is brilliant. Huzzah! So British. It was lovely. Still a bit too hot for you, Jats. I'm going to let that cool down and then I'm going to tuck in and finish it. Let's try some beef. Best of the whole stew is the carrot. More wine. So good. Right, Jats, your turn. Wait a minute, Jats, wait. Just so people can see. Bit of beef for you. Good boy. Did you chew it? You're the best dog, Jax. Jax. Oh, dear. Ah, Jax. Oh. I'm full now. Full belly, tired. I haven't really done much for the last couple of hours. That's the thing in winter, it's dark at 4, well at the moment about 4:40. Sorry, about 5ish at the moment, but it will be dark at 4. You get those long evening hours. I usually either listen to an audio book or if I've got more phone battery I'll watch something. Football has been on tonight, the Carabao Cup. I've been watching some of that. And yeah, I'm letting the stove burn out. It's still got one log on there that's going quite well. That'll probably burn for another 40 minutes or so. I don't need to load it up, it's not peak winter. Just going to let that quietly burn out. This past 2 weeks has been lovely, proper autumn weather. Anyway, me and Jack's going to call it a night, aren't we, buddy? And we will see everyone in the morning. See what we've got for breakfast in the morning, eh? Oh, don't tell them what we've got, Jax. Don't tell them. Don't tell them what we've got. Dude, no. What are you doing? And he's gone. That's how he rolls. I don't sleep very well with Jax around. He just goes under the duvet or under the sleeping bags. We'll see you in the morning where we've got some nice food to cook up. And yeah, I'll let you know if anything happens. Good morning everyone. Just fired up the wood stove. It's a lovely morning. I've brought with me my incredibly sticky, non-sticky frying pan. So we've got some sausages on the go, haven't we, Jets? And oh, it's warm though. It's warm in the tent today. Temperatures didn't drop massively low last night. I think about 6 degrees Celsius. So it's an early season hot tent. I just wanted to get out and get this stove done and set up. Don't lick that, Dex. I think I'm going to leave this tent up and use it as a base camp over the coming weeks. Maybe do some hunting from here, but I'd like to just test it out a bit more throughout the next few weeks in more adverse weather conditions, and add some more things to it as I come here. A few more tables I've got, lanterns, lights, and then yeah, sort out a bit more of a better sleep area system, and yeah, just use it as a base camp really. So I've just come out the tent because I can hear the baying of hounds, baying being like the howling of the hunting hounds from the hunt. It's a traditional thing that's done here in Britain, has been done for hundreds of years, where folk on horses dressed all posh run around the countryside causing havoc and hunting foxes with dogs. Personally, I don't believe in that type of thing. I think it's a little bit barbaric. I'm all for fox hunting with a rifle and managing your chicken, livestock, etc. It's a much more humane way of dispatching a fox rather than sending 50 starving hounds to shred this fox to pieces. That's my thoughts on it, guys. It might clash with a lot of people, but that is just the way I think of it. I can hear the baying of the hounds. Now, they're not allowed in my woodland here. I'm in my woods. They're not allowed in here. They are allowed in the lower section of this woodland, which is part of the same kind of big plot. They have come through here before. They have to give us permission, not permission, they have to give the other owners a heads up of when they are due to do a trail run through their woods. They've never done that in the past. I've heard them go through that woodland before. When I first bought this woodland, they came charging through here before as well. Now, I'm cooking sausages and these hounds will be starving. So if they come ripping through here, they're going to be coming to the tent and probably come to Jack's. They are big dogs. When they're hungry, they're hungry. There will be problems if they start to come here in this section of the woods. Hopefully they don't. But Jax is on guard, look. He's heard them. You heard the hounds, Jax. I'm keeping you on the lead for the moment. They were coming from that area. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the sausages are burning. Oh no, they're alright. They're actually cooking alright. They've stuck a bit, but they're cooking pretty good, to be honest. Right, that's your sausages cooling down. So it's nice. For now, the hounds have gone quiet, which is good. They've probably gone to the woods to the north of here, and hopefully they stay up there. Just storing up some of the wood that I got and chopped for the next time I come here. Then it's all set and it's going to stay dry if it rains over the next couple of weeks. I've got a bit of dry wood to start the fire with. Right, so I've tidied up. I've got the table here, chair I've just flipped over. I've got some firewood for next time I come, nice and dry. The stove is pretty much, it's still glowing a bit, but I can touch the stovepipe here, so it's cool. Just going to leave that here, let that burn out. I think when I come next time, I'm going to bring a raised bed, so I've got a bit more of a permanent bed in here rather than have to keep blowing up an air mattress all the time. And it keeps me off the floor, and the other benefit of a raised bed is I can store things underneath it. So yeah, and another table, some lights, and then we'll make this kind of hunting camp, bushcraft hunting camp for a few weeks. I think we'll do, yeah, maybe some multi-day stuff. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, keep an eye out for the video. I'm sure it will be out soon, and we'll see what we can get. I'll bring extra food as well, just in case we can't get anything. Love the stove, really happy with that so far. I've got no complaints really on it. It's the first test though, so we've got a long way to go. I am going to just, rather than take the stovepipe out, I am just going to lower the flap slightly. The rain will still drip down a little bit down here, but it's titanium, so it shouldn't rust like the other stoves that I've got. Once I heat it up next week, it will be fine. And that's it. That's most of the gear that I'm going to leave here. It's amazing what I can fit in that backpack. I mean, I carried the tent, but everything else, I carried the tent and the stove. Everything else, sleeping system and everything, I can fit in my backpack. It's 48 litres, I think. So we're going to close down this tent and then make our way out of here. I mean, really, I should try and just lift those flaps up a bit so the rain doesn't follow them down, if I can. It's cold enough for me to just lower this a bit, just so some rain can flow down. What would be cool is if you could just, because normally obviously you'd have to take the whole stovepipe out and then this flap zips down and it'd be totally waterproof again. But it would be cool if they could have some sort of Velcro system there, so that when it's cold you can just Velcro it like that, and then that holds it there. Another thing I need to do is tension and tighten the tent, because I'm not going to be here for a week. So it's important, if there's strong winds, that everything is re-tightened and kept taut. Well folks, that's me done. I'm all packed up, tent's all set, ready for the next couple of weeks. I had a look at the forecast and there's not actually too much rain over the next few weeks, well, over the next week or so, which is good. Hopefully be back here next week, and we'll see what we can get. Gonna do some more kind of bushcraft things here. I might make a fire pit area out here in the front, so that if we want to cook something outside, we can cook outside. We don't have to get the wood stove going all the time. So I'm thinking a little bushcraft area out the front here, maybe some pot hangers or whatever, I don't know yet, but something there. And obviously the more additions to the inside of the tent. And I'm going to be doing hopefully doing some beach fishing soon as well with Dad. He's been having really good success on the beach, catching some good fish. His channel is TA Fishing, for those that don't know. I'll leave a link in the description below. We haven't done a collaboration in a fair while. Dad's been really busy fishing, I've been busy doing this, but over the next coming months and building up to Christmas, we're going to come back out here quite a bit more and do some cool fun things. So thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. And if you like this type of video, feel free to check out my camping playlist. I'll put a link in the description below. There's a few videos on there, but there's meant to be about 100 odd now, but I haven't got around to putting them all in the playlist. Either way, if you enjoy this type of video, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for the support, thank you for your views, and I will catch you guys next week. Come on, Jets.